Okay, good morning and welcome to HaMishna. Today we're going to be discussing Maseches Terumos Perek Mishnah Zayin. Talks about a case where you have, again, 1 to 100 ratio, Truma fell in. So what do? Promptly you take out one measurement and you assume that's considered the Truma. You give it to the Kohen and the rest is Chul and you're allowed to do it. Let's say Truma fell in, you took it out, you had 1 to 100. Then another piece of Truma falls in, you take it out. Again, 3 or 4 times. You can always assume what you took out is Truma and the rest is Chul and it doesn't make a difference. Except that you tirbe truma ala chulin until you have rov of the truma beating out the chulin. So the Yachin Boaz, the Rabbi Jehanura says 51, but the Yachin Boaz says 101. You have 101, so that you always had 100 chulin over there. So 101 times falling, the truma falling in, the 101 would beat out the chulin. So how do you explain? This is the Yachin Boaz. So like I've explained before, that really bittul barov, this supports what I was saying before, that bittul barov does work over here. Really we're relying, bittul barov is a din d'oraisa when you have rov. So as long as you have rov, 101 to 100 is rov, right? It's a majority. So when you have rov, so that not only is midameya, causes dimua. Dimua causes 1 to 100 is 1 to 99 is already called dimua. But I explained that's only in Dinei Mamonis. There's 2 parts to the mitzvah. There's a part of the mitzvah of the Isser, part of the mitzvah of the Heter, part of the mitzvah of Makdish, the Truma l'Shamayim. And then the second chelik of the mitzvah is to give it to a Kohen. That's Dinei Mamonis. You owe the money to a Kohen. Whether the Kohen owns it fully or not, we haven't really discussed what kind of rights does he have to the Truma. But he has, Hashem wants you to give it to him. So it is a type of Dinei Mamonis. So when it comes to Dinei Mamonis, the passage of the Torah stretches mimenu, that even 1 to 100, you have to make sure to give it to a Kohen. 1 to 99 to give it to a Kohen, unless you have 1 to 100. Then you can go and you could take one out and give it to the Kohen, and the rest is mutter. So if you have 101 to 100, it happened 101 times, so then already we're dealing with a rov. We're back to bittul barov, majority, and bittul barov reactivates, right? Because normally if you have, if you have rov, well, if it's mechsal, I'm not really sure. Half and half, I don't really know the halacha, but if you had 2 to 1 parts chulin, 2 chulin to 1 truma, or 101 parts chulin to 100 truma, that's rov. We go by rov. It works to negate the isser, right? There's no isser of truma. The hafrashas truma, it's considered truma. It's but the truma, the shame truma is batel regarding the isser truma, not regarding the dinei mamonos. That you need 1 to 100. But once you have the rov over there, it fell in 101 times. So then we're back to the rov again. So you have the rov figuring that it's aser b'truma, so then you have to be machmir, and it's no longer a case of dimua. They can just take one out based on all the times it fell in. So therefore, this is an interesting halacha. Retroactively, we'd say that you have 100 to 1, you don't have the rov anymore, so therefore, all of it becomes aser, but then it's not batal barov anymore. You don't have the regular din of batal barov. So even in dinei isser, the heter, it becomes aser. I'll have to discuss more the significance of nafkamina as the isser of a heter, but before seeing both the Pirish, the Rav, and the Yachin Boaz, I would have said Achiterbe, meaning it can happen 1,000,000 times, right? Because presently it falls in one, it's bata, one's bata, you take it off, Dinei Mamonos. Even if it fell 101 times, the 101st time is like the first time, because when it falls in once, you take it out, it makes it 100% chulin. So the next time it falls in, again, 1 to 100. Why are we reckoning what happened? 100, it was bata 101 times. Why are we reckoning that? Every time is treated as its own time. That's what I would think the Mishnah means. Achitirbe, until you actually have, until you have 99 to 1, until you have 90 less than 1 to 100. Achitirbe Truma doesn't mean it's rov. It would mean, because that wouldn't make sense what I was saying before, because normally you need even equal mechsa would be a problem. Terumos Truma means not that it's rov, but it's 99 to 1. It's supposed to 101 to 1. It's 99 to 1. Well, it's 99 to 1 ratio, you're back to dimua, and then you have to treat it as all truma until you have 100 to 1 ratio. That will be the conclusion of today's share. I hope you enjoyed. See you in Shulchan Aruch Yomi later today.